We create music.
Hey, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? I want to welcome you to another episode of We Create Music TV. I am your host, Vaughan, and today we have an amazing singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, someone I've known for, seems probably like 10 years or so. I want you to welcome my man, my homie,
Jynisys.
Jynisys.
What's up?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's right, man. Hey, I'm glad we were able to, really sit down. I didn't have to, I think I told you this earlier, I didn't have to actually wait to come to St. Louis to have this interview.
Right.
But
Right.
but yeah, man, so it's, of course, we've known each other for, man, like I said, almost 10 years, probably 10 years. And, so it's been an amazing friendship and an amazing journey. So won't you just share with all of us how you got started in this whole music business?
Oh, wow. How I got started. Well, I grew up, I'm a PK, so I'm a preacher's kid. And in church, I was playing the drums in church and all that. I had a little mini Casio, little mini Casio keyboard or whatnot, messing around with that. I was always like writing songs. I love music. I was writing songs and stuff. And that was real young, man. I would even say like seven-ish, 8. And then as I, got older or whatnot and start honing in on the craft and kind of figure out, okay, really like this and listening to songs on the radio. I actually went to studios. Tell you this, I went to studios, right? And I mean big boy studios. And I took this little Casio keyboard that I had, took that in there. And I was like, yeah, I'm here to speak to such and such. I don't remember their name, all that. But, and I want to show them these songs that I got. And it was like, yeah. So got on in there, man. Like, I mean, the big consoles and all that. And here I am with my little mini Casio. And I'm pressing little stuff on there. I'm like, yeah, so it go like this. And I'm singing these songs. Yo. But I can tell you, like, later on, like, especially up today, if somebody come in there and do that, you'll be like, what? Like, they ain't saying anything like that, though. It's like, great job, yeah, great job.
They're like, good for you.
Yeah, but I've always had, like, an ear for music, you know what I mean? Doing that and had my own songs, again, writing and start getting more and more into, like, looking up studio stuff, getting equipment, things like that. I ran into, this was back in, like, I want to say like 1995. I went to a friend of mine. She was like, hey, I want you to come to this church with me. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll come in. I'll go with you. And it was like West End Mount Carmel. Went to the church and it was like a Christmas service or something like that. And it was 2 guys that called up. They was like, we'll call up Jynisys and come up. And I was like, okay, Jynisys. And then they started rapping, right? And I was like, they rapping? Like we in church and they rapping and all that stuff. So I'm like, dang, that's what's up. And then met them after that, and they was like real cool. We all started hanging out and stuff like that. And I started showing them some more of my music. And I was already producing, just making music and stuff like that. And then we put more things together. And then after that, I joined the group. And stuff just even took off even further, bro. Like, I was going by Fitzgerald. Actually, I was going by Sippy Boy at the time because I'm from Mississippi. And I was going by Sippy Boy.
Sippy Boy.
Sippy Boy Productions. Yeah, Sippy Boy Productions. Did that, and then we were doing that for like a few years, traveling and doing like little mini tours and stuff, Six Flags and all that stuff like that, and open up for people. And then we branched off a little bit later on. We all started doing our solo projects, and I changed my name from Sippy Boy to Fitzgerald. So I started going by Fitzgerald because that's my like real middle name.
That's right, Fitz.
I think this is dope. Okay, yeah, Fitz. So did a lot of stuff like under Fitzgerald. And after a while, it got hard for people to actually like look me up. Every time they tried to find Fitzgerald, Ella Fitzgerald always came up, or Fitzgerald from Scandal would come up, and I'd be way at the bottom somewhere. And they'd be like, "We can't find your music." So that's what made me change the name to Jynisys. I wanted to get something that was kind of unique, but still, if you looked it up, it would be right there. And just the whole story behind Jynisys, like the beginning, the creation, like how God, created the world and everything like that. And I still want to focus on Jynisys, and still have just that name flight. So, and here I am today, still doing it, man.
Man, of course. Okay, so
it's been a long while.
Oh man, look, I know. So talk about. Of course, you're from Mississippi, right? And so,
Yes.
so how'd you get up in St. Louis?
So I moved to Mississippi in 1990, and I was 11. My parents had a divorce, so I went through a whole divorce state. And my dad still lived in Mississippi, but my mom, she had friends and family up here in St. Louis. So when she was doing her divorce, she actually moved, and that's what brought us here to St. Louis. So this, like I said, I was 11 when I came here, so I've been here like ever since then, like over half my life, more now. But that's how I got to St. Louis, bro. Like ever since then, 11, my 5th grade year. School.
Hey, well, of course, it's a
Great.
blessing for St. Louis to have you. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, man. So you got from Mississippi, you got to St. Louis, and so how did you get into the music? The music scene within St. Louis. Of course, you said you left Mississippi when you were 11.
Right.
Yeah, and so then you got to St. Louis.
Once I started doing a lot of stuff with Due Season,
Mhm.
like you wouldn't believe it, bro. Like we were all at the same church. You had me, Darnell, and Brian, which is Due Season.
Mhm. Well,
Flame,
I know.
yeah, JR with Courtney Orlando now. He was
Mhm.
there. Brad Young, all of us. Jason.
Ah, okay.
There at this church. So we were kind of already right there. They were already doing music. And then we did something like evangelism and things like that in the streets. And that's how we met Thizzle doing the evangelism. Then Thizzle, I don't think Thizzle never became a member there, but he actually became a Christian though, which was dope. And that's actually how we met Flame too. Flame was already, Flame wasn't a part of West End Mount Carmel, but his girlfriend was, which was Mick at the time. And she was inviting him to come, and then he came a few times and stuff like that. And so that's how we met Flame. So that circle was already been there and in rotation. So like, and it just kept getting bigger. Nab was there. Nab, we've been knowing Nab ever since. Everybody was at the one church.
Hey,
all of us just
what was it?
One thing.
Was it Mount Carmel? Is that what you
West End
said?
Mount Carmel.
Yeah, West End Mount
Yep.
Carmel. Dang.
West End Mount Carmel.
See, I didn't know
White
that.
at the time.
Yeah, see, I didn't know
Yeah,
y'all were all
everybody.
at the same church in the very. Well, I think I did. I think I did knew that. I think I knew y'all were all at
Yeah.
the same place at the same time in the very beginning. So
We used to
Yeah.
go to Brad's crib. We used to go to JR's grandma's house because that's where they
Mm-hmm.
made the stuff at. Down in the basement and everything. Like that's where it all was.
oh yeah.
Yeah, just getting around like that.
Mm.
And eventually later on, I went to school. I went to Nelly school, Nelly EI downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme Institute by Nelly, and I
Well,
met a
I
lot
mean,
more people even down there.
Yeah, I went to that same school.
Yeah, you did. I was like, should I take this class?
Yeah, man. I think me and my friend Keith, who was in St. Louis, I think we were like the very first students of the school. Well, at least the first students for Carl's mixing class. I don't think I don't think he had any other students before that, and I don't remember seeing any other students while we were at the school. Period. I mean, maybe they had others, but me and Keith, we went in the evenings. But yeah, Nelly school was tight. It was tight. I enjoyed the time that I had there. I mean, it was just me, Keith, Carl, and Wish. That was it. And D was there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was and Blue. That was it.
And Blue.
Yep.
Yeah, Blue.
That was it.
So it was a lot more when I went.
Oh man! By the time you went, bro, they done opened up the third floor. They done had summer concert series.
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing so much by the time you got there. By the time we got there, it was like a ghost town.
And I only wanted to go for mixing is what I really wanted to do. I was like, let me just take a mixing class and then that's it. But then Blue talked me into doing a whole course and actually getting a degree, which is what I did. So I got my degree though, recording engineering and management. So I got that to go on top of what I'm already doing, So
Right.
it helped. it taught me a few more things about mixing.
Honestly,
So
you're one of the lucky ones because you have your degree prior to all the whole debacle with Veta and with EI and all that whole
right,
thing. You
yeah,
know, I mean, I know this is not a conversation about EI, but I remember when I went, there were some things that uh, because like I said, I was one of like the very first students, and so there was a lot of things that
right,
they had envisioned, a lot of things that they wanted to do, and honestly, it was sad to see that school kind of go in the direction that it did as far as closing its
hmm
doors, et cetera, because it actually was a great school, and for the city of St. Louis, I don't think the city had any other type of program like that
no,
or school like that, and so it's a shame
no,
that that is now gone from the city of St. Louis. So, but yeah,
yeah.
man. So go back. So you were with Due Season. So talk about how all that went. Talk about what happened. I mean, if you want to share what happened to Due Season and where
So
you where
so
you
with
guys are now. Yep.
right. So with Due Season, like I said, I basically came in. I was producing a lot of the music, um, and then singing, of course, because that's what I was doing. I never rapped or nothing, and they were already rapping. So now I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna rap. So started doing my own stuff and writing raps too. So there you go. Now I'm rapping and singing at the same time, but and still mainly doing a lot of production work because that's what I was doing. And still to this day, like I said, we all went our separate ways later on. Um, Me and Darnell put some stuff together, but we ended up never putting that project out. Everybody put out their own solo stuff. Well, Brian still got to put out a whole project, but I put out a few solo albums, and the whole group, we was a Christian-based group. So that's one of the main things that set us apart from everybody else. We're speaking about the Lord and just our Christian views with everything, and that's what made it different. Still never branched off from that, but at the same time, I had to recognize that I wasn't exactly a Christian artist, so to speak, because I'm still a producer. I write songs. I'm a songwriter as well as recording artist. I learned how to mix, like trust in my ears. So I mix my own stuff at the same time. So like if
Mm-hmm.
you want to say on the engineer side. So, but it's not one genre. Like I'm versatile. Like I thank God for that because that's like a gift that I have
Right.
that I'm versatile. I'm able to produce and create more than one genre of music. So I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
label and say, hey, well, I'm a Christian artist or a Christian producer, versus just saying that I'm an artist or I'm a producer or I'm a
Mm-hmm.
songwriter that happens to be a Christian. Like it's a difference, you know what I mean? Um, but again, I started to, hook up with other artists, hook up with other songwriters. We would get together, write songs, shop to other artists. I mean, it's just been a whole big world, man. And taking off from there to where I'm still putting out projects. I'm still trying to help other artists as well as with production and things like that and writing. The sales of production not so much now because things are kind of getting
Mm-hmm.
lower. Nobody's really paying like top dollar or $1,000
Ah.
for beats and stuff like that. I mean, not for us, not from independents, at least.
Right.
But yeah, I'm still doing my thing, man, on that. And as far as say Brian, I think is working on the project right now,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Darnell. Darnell's working. He put out a
Yeah,
project,
I
and I
saw
think he's
that.
working on the second one. Yeah, he's working on volume 2, like Lamont volume
Oh,
2.
okay.
So yeah, that's where everybody's at right now.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, but Due Season came out with something recently, though.
right. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Darnell called everybody. He wanted to do like a reunion thing because he's like, man, it's been like 20 years since we first dropped something, like way back
Dang,
then.
20
We was like,
years.
wow, like okay, yeah, because that was like 1990, what, 97? Did we drop something in
Mm-hmm.
97? 97 or 98, somewhere in there like that. And I was like, okay, cool.
Dang.
So we was like, we all agreed to it. We was like, yeah, we can, what I'm saying, we could put something together and put
Mm-hmm.
that project out. So the first song that we put out was He Did It. And then we haven't put out anything since then. Still getting everything else in order. We're about to soon though.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
I think we're in the deciding process right now, figuring out what's gonna come, which one we want to go with on that one. But other than that, that's where we are right now with Due Season, and it's still the same as before. Still like Christian based. It's not nothing wild and stuff like that. Never really wanted to do the stuff like to have people's, women twerking and stuff and all stuff like that. Like that just wasn't us. Like I want to put out some clean music,
Right.
But I have a lot of projects, just working on like
Mm-hmm.
mixtapes and everything, like that
Oh,
I've
yeah.
done solo since then.
Oh, look, I know. Relationship 101, Nick the Feeling. Oh, don't let me talk about what albums you done came out with. I mean, they're your
Oh
albums.
yeah, so the mixtape like Relationship R101, that was the very first mixtape that I ever
Mm-hmm.
did. So I wanted to say, I was like, yo, I really like these songs. I want to take them. I took parts of each, like I did. What is the movie Baby Boy? I did Baby Boy.
Yeah, Baby
Took
Boy.
like a little section on that one. She was like, I stole my car, Jody, or whatever, and then just put that in there. You know what I'm saying? I like
Mm-hmm.
took samples from each of these like different songs, and I like build production around it. And that's the one thing like people don't know. I didn't just take a beat or something like that or download
Right.
a beat or whatever. I still did my production tool, and
Mm-hmm.
either the vocals or took apart, even if it was a piano, put it on there and then did all the beats around it and then just came up with this, project. So our 101 was the first one. And then Love Files was just totally like all R&B-ish, like love songs basically is what it is. And same thing, took samples and things like that and just built around it. So until I did Full Circle. And all of this was while I was in school, before school. I mean, I'm going to work. I'm getting off work. I'm going to school late, and I'm getting
Oh, I
home. And I'm in
remember.
the studio, man. I'm up to like 2, 3 in the morning. They was like, man, how could you do this? And I'm still in there and putting it out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
I
you know
can tell y'all
that.
that at the end, though.
No, I'm saying but that speaks to the dedication that you have as an artist and the commitment that you have to artistry as a whole.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that may be missing. I'm not sure, right? Because I don't know every artist in the world, nor do I know what every artist does. But I can say from my own lens, what I see is that a lot of artists don't put in the hard work like that. I mean, because I remember when you came out with, Relationship R101 and Love Files and Nyctophilia and, all of those things.
Full Circle.
So, Full Circle. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember when you came out with all of those albums. And so, and we'll
Yeah.
get to we'll get to 19 in a little bit. But yeah, I remember
Okay.
when you came out with all of those, and it just speaks to, as I said, your commitment to your artistry. And I think a lot of artists need to really, really hone in on that piece so that they could be successful in this industry.
Yeah, it's just having that passion. Because I just have the passion, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't have
Yeah.
to pay me. You don't have to pay me to do this. Like I've been doing it when I was making like no money. You know what I mean? And I would still be up all night. Like what are you doing? I'm in here, man. I'm in here.
Nah,
So
yeah.
it's just having that passion.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what you said too. Is the shame part of it is that people don't get paid as much as they used to, and so, the money is not there as it once was for producers in the music industry, But if your heart
Yeah.
is in it, then the commitment follows, and then of course the money ends up following also. But we actually got a
Yeah.
question. We actually got a question for you, which is awesome. And so I'm gonna pose it. So I'm
Okay.
gonna put the question. I'm gonna give you a moment to answer it, and then we'll jump in and continue.
Okay.
So it says, do you feel, this is from O'Shea, the homie O'Shea, do you feel wearing multiple hats
Okay, what's up,
simultaneously
Red?
ever takes away from one role or the other?
To me, I don't think it does because I look at it as writing the song, producing the music, putting it together, mixing it. I look at it as, to me, all one, um, just still under that one umbrella, that one project. So to me, that's my process. Like I know I have to come in here and make this beat, and while I'm making this beat, I may have thoughts already, or I may have nothing. I can be sitting here just just coming up with different melodies and stuff like that. Um, I like to consider myself, I'm a top line producer is what I am. See, I don't just make the beats and stuff like that or just write, you know what I'm saying? Like I can do the whole thing. Like making a whole project. The only thing I know where my limits are. So I know what hats I need help with. I know what hats I can't wear. Some hats I wear like a little bit of. Some I wear all of it. It's just um, knowing your
That's right.
limits. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I think I'm doing too much production and I can't focus on how to write a song or something like that, then yeah, but I don't ever have any. I don't run into those issues like that to where I'm like, oh man, I feel like you know, maybe I'm giving too much of this and not the other. Like so,
Mm.
it's all together to me good, but it's like I know where my like my networking or my like I don't have a manager, so trying to do that part.
Mm-hmm.
Those are hats. I know I'm not good at that. So that's where I know, okay, I can't do that. I'm good at this. So I don't even try to even go into those areas. I mean, I do as much as I can as far as like social
Mm-hmm.
stuff, like, but past that, I really don't know that world, you know, and I've never had a manager like this. I don't know, you know, how to even go into that aspect of it. So I don't wear hats that I don't really venture off into. So to
Mm.
me, I don't think it takes away it doesn't take away from me. I can say that because I know, like I said, it goes back to the passion, and I know what I know my process,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind the process. And the world, nah, yeah,
All right, well, good, man. I appreciate the question. So, I mean, if you have any
thanks,
other
Rick.
questions for Jynisys, as we, yeah, you know, so I don't know if everybody watching,
That was a good question.
Rick is also one of the homies too, as well. But yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to some of the things that you were saying, because I've seen people try to wear hats that, or I would say, put shoes on their feet that they can't walk in, right? And so
Right.
I've seen people try. I mean, and of course, in this business today, you've probably got to try to be almost everything. You know, you probably got to be
Yeah.
your own producer, your own artist, your own, you know, mix engineer, your own mastering engineer, your own publicist and manager, or what other roles that exist. But I think once a person really finds where he or she is gifted, then something about it'll just take off. You know,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, I tried the manager thing, right? It just wasn't for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that I'm not gifted in it. I mean, maybe not, but I know that's not one of
Yeah.
my strong suits.
Strong sense.
I'm more of a owner. I'm more of
Okay.
a
Yeah.
I'm more of an owner than a manager, and I've had to learn that in the role of a manager. I mean, so as in say, let's say I was your manager, right? You really don't
Mm-hmm.
have to. You really don't have to listen to what I tell you. It's up to you.
All right.
I
Right.
right. You know
Right.
my job is to give you the advice to help further your career along, to help make the connections for you so that you can get in the places where you need to be. But at the end of the day, it's your career. You can say, Brian, I don't want to hear that. Nah, I don't want to go that
Right.
direction.
They fire managers all the
Right,
time.
right. Fire
I'll be
managers all the
like, man,
time.
I be hearing it like, what? I'm like, you
Yeah.
fired what? Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
That's why for me, it's
Yeah.
more being an owner. Like, I own We Create Music TV. If I was to ever start a label, I will own the label, and then I would sign artists, and then I would tell the artist what
Right. Right.
what he or she should do. And then if they don't do it,
Right.
it's kind of like when you're at the job, right? You know, you're a manager at the job, and my employees don't tell me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if my employees don't do what I'm asking them to do, there's a disciplinary process that they go through, and up to and including termination. So it's like, well, if you continue not to do what I tell you to do, I mean, I have no
Yeah.
recourse but to fire you.
I was having this conversation the other day, actually, because V asked me about that, and I was just saying, like, you know, when artists are with labels, a lot of them they can't wait until they, you know, get independent or become independent, or they start their own labels after the fact because they have more power. Like when you first get signed, you mean the label is like picking your songs. You say, hey, you got to wear this, look like this, you need to sound like this, you know, go this direction. Versus if you're like independent, like you do whatever because you just you and you do whatever you want to do. Like you got the freedom.
That's right.
Like I put out R&B album, alternative album,
Mm-hmm.
inspirational album. Like you can't, a label won't do that. They're like, hey, you need to stay in this lane, and you're right here, and that's it.
That's right.
So it's a huge difference, man.
It's a huge difference. And, you know, of course, I don't know all the ins and outs of being signed to a label. I mean, I'm not an artist. I was never signed to a label. I mean, even today, I'm still not an artist, but there are certain type of freedoms. And let me go back. I know a ton of independent artists, and I know several artists who are signed to labels. But just once again, from my lens, there's a difference between being signed to a label and being an independent artist. You know, some of the things that you said is that you have the freedom to do almost anything that you want to do. You can, if you want to put out this song,
Right.
so I gave you a prime example of the freedom that independent artists have and the control that the record labels have. So Music Soul Child, and I'm sure you probably know this story, but Music Soul Child made the song Love, right? We all know that. I'm not gonna sing it, but we made it made the song Love. But that song was originally for Trinity 5-7. And the song was called
I didn't know
Lord.
that.
Oh yeah, the song was called Lord. And he wanted to put that song out. And the record label was like, nah, bro, like, nope. That's not going on your album.
Oh, he wanted to use Lord?
Yes. Oh yeah, the song actually was originally Lord. Yeah.
He wanted to use Lord. And
Yeah,
they were like, no.
They were like, nah, nope. And so he said, okay. He changed Lord to Love, right? Under the record label's instructions, changed Lord to Love, and then gave the song to Trinity 5-7. So if you go listen to Trinity 5-7, they actually have the original song. And the one that's on Music Soul Child's album, the one on his album is, I guess you can say, quote unquote, the remake where he used the word love instead of Lord. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, I have to look it up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, and of course with record labels, you have the ability they can shelf you. You can sign, they can shelf you. As an independent artist, I mean, the only person who can shelf me is me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
Yeah, yep.
I know they're on the different aspects that I've learned that, because I went to a conference one time with it was a Rico Love conference that was in Indiana.
I wanted to go. Like we didn't even know you went.
Oh yeah, I went to that.
Yeah, you just went by yourself.
It was one thing. it was
didn't even tell us.
That he said that was my bad. It was one thing. I thought I did though. Oh, I guess I did. But it was one thing that he said. He was like, he was brought the opportunity to sign with a label or whatnot. So he was debating, I should do this or whatnot. So it's just sometimes you have to look at and see the position that you're in at the moment, or a distribution deal. Should I take this? Should I not take this? If they get a percentage of this publishing, or should I not do this, blah, blah, whatever. And you have to look at the position that you're in. So, because sometimes a label can help you. Like if you have nothing at all and you're figuring, okay, if I go with this label, at least it'll be, they can at least take me to probably the next level up from where I am or something like that. So I won't necessarily say like, not to go with a label or anything like that, or not to, not to use it for the fact of if you think that it can help you or advance or whatnot, then that would be an issue or something that you would do for a certain time, but you just don't want to be locked in. Like I don't want to go and be locked in for like 7 years to something like that, or do a contract or something like that. Even if you did 2 years or something or whatever, 3.
Yeah, no,
then,
sir.
You know what I'm saying? And you can still use that to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I've still never done it yet. I've still never been signed to a label at all. Not that I wouldn't or whatnot. Like I said, I think it just depends on, where that is, what's in the small writing. You know what I mean?
I've never asked you this question ever in the time that we've known each other, right? And so I know you haven't talked about it yet, as far as all the people that you worked with and all the Christian artists whose albums you've been on. But I guess the question is, why did, and maybe you have an answer, maybe you don't, maybe, it was just never offered. But why did Cross Movement never sign you to Cross Movement?
I don't know.
I mean,
have no idea, man.
I mean, you work with a ton of. I mean, I don't have. Yeah, I mean, you worked with.
I don't have that answer.
You worked with Flame. You worked with. I mean, you can give a rundown of all the people that you worked with, But I guess that was the question. It's like, why? I for sure Crossman would have picked you up and signed you.
Nah, I never knew them like that for one. the owners of it. And I was never in that circle. I mean, I knew like Flaming them and JR and all that, but I would meet them like if we went and did like background or something for Courtney or something like that. But other than that, was never really in that circle at all.
Okay.
And at the time, I was doing, like I said, I was producing all kinds of music. Like I wasn't doing just Christian or just gospel music or whatnot. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, look.
I know Courtney used to be like,
yeah, probably.
Courtney used to tell me all the time. He would be like, man, he would be like, man, why you ain't signed yet?
Right.
And you ain't said, dang, man, you should be signed on something. And I'm like, bro, like, you know what, dog? I never really put myself out there. I mean, if I can be honest about it on that note, because I would always make the music. I would always have, like, I would think it was good music. And put the music out. But I was never in the right areas. Never in, like, a music city. You know what I mean? Didn't really go to the conferences, getting around music people, things like that. I always had family, try to be family minded. I had kids. I'm like, I got to take care of my kids. Most people used to even ask, why are you still in St. Louis? I'm like, my kids in St. Louis. Like, I'm not leaving my kids or whatnot, but, you know. But then they got grown. They gone now. They're like, why you still here?
Why you still here?
It's just, like, never in those situations. I never had the money to really go and really do, you know. So I don't know if that played a part in it or not, or I just always pray to God and be like, Lord, just one day when you're ready, you know, and you're ready for me to go and do whatever I need to do according to whatever you want me to do, just you're going to bring those people, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to meet those people, you know, I'm just saying create these opportunities for me and just give me the, you know, take away any fear to step out there or, you know. I used to have a fear about even getting on stage. I used to have a fear about that, man. I used to get nervous as
man, I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that.
But once I got on there, once I hit the stage, it's like, oh, well, we're good. Now let's go.
Oh, okay, so it's like me with roller coasters.
Big crowds are good. If you get me in a room with like 10 people, it's like okay.
That's because we all like this.
Now I'm very nervous. Yeah, thousands of people. Oh, I'm good. I go rock that. 10 people, 2 people. Like, ooh, wait a minute, hold on. But then I still do it. Though. I do my thing. It's like turn on go button. It's just that nervousness, man. Like, but I got way better at that now, though. So
yeah, you know, I think that's, to me, nervousness still shows that you care about what you do, because you still have that, you know, those butterflies in your stomach. I think the situation is if you don't get nervous, then I think maybe the love for it or the passion for it is gone, because you're just like, oh, this is just, you know, another thing that I'm doing without heart, or, you know, and without passion into it. So I think it's still good to be nervous. Like, you know, I don't sing in front of nobody. You know, I don't care if it's a million people on stage and nobody's looking at me. It's not happening. You know, so I still think even jumping up there, because, you know, you even had the chance to open up for Nelly, you know, so you know, doing that.
That was dope.
Yeah. So take a moment to talk about that. How did the opportunity come about, and what was it like? Well,
I was at, like I said, it was after school, and I was doing my project. I was working on Full Circle. Got done with that, and I did a video called "Love Me Again," right? And so I put it out, and then the next day when I went to school, they was like, "Yo, Pam want to talk to you," and I was like, "Pam want to talk to me." Pam was one of the, you know, the directors or whatever, the owners. So I went in there and talked to Pam, and she's like, "Hey," she was like, "You did this song, Love Me Again?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Well, I want to tell you that it's on our website. We took a video of it and put it on the website." And I was like, "What? For real?" And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Go to the website, check it out." And I'm like, "Cool." And then she was like, "Well, I got another opportunity." She's like, "Nelly's gonna be doing this, you know, benefit show at the pageant." And she was like, "Would you mind opening up for him?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Like, yeah.
I was like, "I'll open up. I don't mind."
Yep.
You know, and she's like, I want you to do this song. And I was like, "Okay, I'll do that song. That's what's up." And that's how that mug came, bro.
Hey.
I think Nab went with me to that.
Yeah.
To that, because he did a lot. He did a video in for it when we went.
Yeah.
And like I said, rocked it on stage. It was good. Like, rocked it. You know.
Now I got to think about, where was I during that time when you was, because I remember that too, but I don't know where I was, because, you know, I sure would have went. Like, how come I ain't go?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
Yeah,
you know,
Love Again was dope.
yeah, Love Again is dope. I mean, if you haven't checked out Jynisys music, I almost called him Fitz. My bad, bro.
Nah, you
Like,
good.
look, like I said,
People still call me Fitz.
look, like I said, I've known him
All my homies
for
still
10
say
years.
Fitz. They don't
Fitz,
say Jynisys.
right?
They be
So
like Fitz.
that's because we're just used to it. But if you have not checked out Jynisys work, you can always go to jynisys.com and check it out. You can go to YouTube, type in Jynisys, and I mean, he'll give all the social media and stuff at the very end.
Yeah, all the videos.
Yeah, all the videos are up there. I mean, what he hasn't talked about yet are the 3 songs
Chuck did
that
that video.
that we did together. You know what I'm saying? But it's all
That's
good.
an overdose.
Yeah, overdose. We ain't talk about overdose
Do I have
yet.
overdose on
What?
there?
Do you have overdose? No, I got the album over here somewhere. But do you have overdose somewhere?
No, I wouldn't have it on there.
Nah,
I was trying to see if overdose was on there. No, it's not on there.
Shame, shame, shame.
I don't know how I would do that. I
Shame,
don't think I have
shame,
any
shame.
features on there. I think I need to put that up there.
Mm.
Yeah, overdose.
Yeah,
Right.
yes,
like
you got to
overdose.
put that. Yeah, you got to put that. So
Overdose is dope.
overdose is dope. We still got to do a video to it. So I don't know if you know. I don't think I told you, but I'm re-releasing the album. I tell you that with
I didn't know that.
four
No.
new songs on it. Yeah, 4 new songs will be on it. It's coming out next year. I already got 2 songs done.
Oh, that's like
But
it's like a deluxe,
yeah, it's like the
deluxe version.
yeah the try again version. But the try
Silly, man.
the try again version. But yeah.
I just got to do it.
Yeah, so so it's going to be re-released. We came out with it in 2017. And the one thing I loved about Overdose is I took that DJ Khaled approach with it. I wanted to have several artists
Right.
on the album, and I mean, it came out September 5th, my birthday, 2017. So now it's going to come out with dang 4 years later. Is that 4 years later? Dang,
Hey.
that's crazy. But hey, the songs are still dope, so I don't care.
Right. Especially like I used to say, like, man, these mugs is old as a mug. Like people ain't gonna listen to. And then Nab always be like, man, ain't nobody even heard this mug. Something like that. It's like, so go ahead and put it out or whatnot. But it's just a lot of stuff like music that's out now, man, or out today. Sometimes I'd be like getting confused a little bit, or just like, what is this? I always be like, what is this? Like, I don't know. I hear a bunch of auto-tune, and I hear a bunch of, not that you can't use auto-tune or nothing like that, or nothing against auto-tune, because I just actually got a bunch of auto-tune apps on here. Not a bunch, but 2. Because I never really use auto-tune for real, but it's just, I don't know. I guess something mentally, it's a lot of people out here that I believe are making like great music. And then I'll hear something on the radio and be like, what is this? I'm like, you're not even talking about anything, like nothing, like really. And like, I don't know, I don't get it. I mean, it's the world we live in, so good music is probably like going out the window somewhere. I don't know.
So do you feel that's something within the music culture that we need to regain, is making good music?
I know like Beyonce put out a post, and I know Tank put out a post, and they were talking about like where are the good artists that are making real songs. They're like, people don't make albums anymore. Like nobody sits down to really think about the whole process and structure an entire album. They just want to, let me put this single out so I can try to get this to go on and get hit and make big. Or let me put this out. Like, and the mindset is always about making it big. And that's it. Like, instead of, this is what I do. This is my passion. I love music. I love making music. Like I said, I'll be doing this when I wasn't even making nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not even making a dime. And it's like, I love it so much. I focus it. Just leaving like my Full Circle album. When I first came out with the full album, it's telling a story from like beginning to the end. It's like a maturation process of a guy that was in love and he cheated and broke and then got it together and got right. So it's like just making full, complete albums and making something good and wholesome that's gonna help people. You know what I'm saying? Bring people up, and we can talk about money all day, or like carrying a gun, or shooting people or something like that. And but what does that do? Like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So,
Hey,
I don't know.
I don't. It gets people turned up. I guess. I don't. I don't know. But then again, I guess because we're a little older than everybody
People just
else.
gotta do what you do.
You
But
know
people
what I'm saying?
people
Like,
gotta do what you do. Like staying in line. It's nothing. It's always something I can adjust. I can adjust to what's going on. I can see mainstream. This is the way that they're going. Okay, I can adjust and get some stuff, but it's still gonna be talking about something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm still not gonna come out with nothing. And it's I can get with the auto tune or get the beat to pop or whatever, do what it need to do, and it's still talking about something. Like it still has a good message. So that's why I'm like, where's the message? I'm listening to stuff like what are you really talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though you from the streets or whatever, or you from the hood, yeah, I got brothers and stuff from the hood, like all in jail. I didn't go to jail. I didn't go that route. Like,
Right.
but
right.
that don't mean
yeah,
I
look,
don't know nothing about it. I'm choosing to, you know what I'm saying, do something this way. And a lot of artists around too, they say, this is all that I know. And I'd be like, well, you still can do something different. You don't want to stay here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to promote for people to stay here. You're trying to get people out. What do you do?
Right, but do you think do you think the overall music culture influences that today? Like, that's what they push, and they glorify it, and they pay very well for it, and so younger kids growing up see that, and they see, I don't want to throw out names of whoever because I don't want nobody to say, oh, well, that's not the person, or you got whatever. But the situation is that you do have artists who are out here who are glorifying things maybe that they shouldn't because of what the record labels are pushing, because that's what's making the money, even though they themselves may not live that way. Prime example, and I know ain't nobody ever gonna remember who this is, So there was a lady back in the day. She was a rapper called Boss. You remember Boss? I don't even know. You remember the rapper Boss?
What's the song?
She had a song, Deeper. Was it Deeper?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, the song
I
is.
don't think so.
The song was amazing, but that's not who she was.
No, I don't remember.
She only put on that persona because that's what the record labels wanted, and so I mean, she talks about it. So if you ever go find who Boss is and you look at her interview, she talks about the fact that she didn't want to do that because that wasn't who she really was. But she got paid though. She got that bread.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I think today a lot of people are probably doing things within the music culture that they may not really want to do, but they're getting paid for it. So
right. And I mean, like I said, if you're, so you don't want to stop nobody's hustle or whatnot. I'm just at a point right now, like, I don't care if I make millions of dollars, thousands of dollars. I don't care. I don't have to be the richest person in the world. I don't have to be the poorest person in the world. Just as long as I can do something or just get to the point where if I want to go here, I can go here. Or something, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So it's like not my focus. Like, it's always been my passion. And the main thing is with me, I can say it for Fitzgerald, Jynisys, Sippy from the beginning.
Fitzgerald
Is my aspect of God, man. Like, I look at it as all of this that I have, that I possess, is from God. Period. It's like these are the gifts and talents that He's given me, and I have to use these in a way that basically you want to bring glory to God. You know what I mean? Even though I haven't always done that, and just being honest about it, haven't always done that. But at the end of the day, I know this is God-given talent, God-given gift. You know what I mean? And that's why it's always been my passion. That passion never goes anywhere because I know that I'm not at the point that God is finished. You know what I mean?
Man, none of us are.
It's something coming. Like, I see myself in all different places. I see myself on the stage. I see myself getting that Grammy. I see myself doing this blah blah blah.
Hey,
I always tell God,
hey, that's right.
And I'm like, it ain't happened yet. It may not never. And the point is, even if it doesn't, like, God's done enough with me in this music to where I'm satisfied with what I do. Even though it's still that unease, a little bit of content to be like, dang, Lord, like, man, like, listen to this crap that's on here right now. You know what I'm saying? Versus this or whatnot. And it's just pushing. That's the only thing that gives me hope and to give me that to keep going, because a lot of people will give up. A lot of people have been like, man, I ain't got nothing done so far. I'm done. You know, and that's where the mental strength comes in at. You got to keep telling yourself to keep going. Like, don't stop yet, because you don't know, it could be right around the corner. And there's so many other areas with music that you can get into instead of just being an artist. Like, me and you talked about the sync stuff. Like, even getting into syncing licenses and all things like that. Like, all kinds of stuff. Get into mixing, doing all kinds of stuff like that you can charge or make money off of, not just being on stage. So you have to look at it that way too. Music is everywhere. I mean, elevator music, stadium, TVs, commercials, like everywhere. So, I mean, you have to broaden your horizons and just focus on what you want to do and get your education in it and be smart about it and be passionate about it and go and do it and don't have a lot of excuses, because you can come up with a lot of excuses with doing this stuff. So that's what I would say. That's what helps me.
Yeah, you know, trust me, we can come up with excuses. Oh, nobody's rocking with my music today, you know, or you know, and the biggest things are is no, go ahead.
One thing I would say too to that, because I find myself doing this and I really have to stop. If you're an artist, producer, whatever, whoever you are, and let's say even if it's social media or anything like that, like, don't envy or don't be jealous of other people. Like, try to be happy and things like that. Like, I used to question sometimes. I'd be like, dang, like, this person just got this, like, or they just signed here. Like, dang, man, like, dang, what's going on? Like, I had to stop doing that, because that's that person's time. That's that person's moment. Like, be happy for them. So now I'm always like congratulating, man, that's dope, bro. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you did that. And like, I support people. I support people before they blow up. Like, I don't wait until you get way up here just to do a repost for you or something like that, or say, hey, go check this person out because this is this. Like, just being honest, man. If people don't get it back, you don't get it back. Everybody don't do like that. But I'm not worried about it anymore. I'm like, you don't have to. But I do what I do, and that's all I can say. Just try not to look at what the other person is doing. Do you, be in your lane, and put out your stuff, and don't worry about what everybody else thinks about it.
Right. You know, and you know, and that's the big thing, is doing you and not really listening to the opinions of others. It's good to take feedback, right? So it's good to take feedback and learn from it, but you don't allow the person's opinion or feedback to hinder you as an artist. You know, and I'll tell you as somebody who loves, I'm gonna put it out there, right? Somebody who loves to sing. Been doing it since I was, you know, yay high. But for me, it was always the opinions. It was always the opinions of people. And that's why I would never do it. Because I was always like, somebody's looking at me, somebody's being judgmental, somebody's going to say something. I may hit a wrong note and they're going to be like, eh. You know how it is, you know, when you sing and then they go, he didn't hit that note right. And it's like, you know, it deters a lot of people from doing it.
And just on the lines of just not really like just listening from other people, just, I guess what I was trying to say is your own mentality and your own thoughts. Like, don't let the success of other people and you don't have it turn you down or turn you away to make you think like what you're doing isn't great or isn't good enough, because you just haven't had your moment yet. You know what I mean? So that's what I tell myself. Don't look at it because they're taking off or this person took off or this person did this and you're still here to mean like, oh, well, this must be whack stuff or this is garbage or something like that. Like, don't think like that unless it's really garbage and you can tell yourself, yo, it's garbage. But no, for real. Seriously though, but don't do that.
Well, you know, a comparative mentality is like a cancer for artists. It really is. When you start comparing yourself to others, I had that in the very beginning. I'm not going to say who was with, but I had that, and I've said it before on the show before, is that there was somebody that I looked up to, and don't try to guess because you know who it is, but somebody I looked up to, you know, as a producer, had did some amazing stuff, you know, in his career. And I was like, man, why can't I have that? I want the same thing too, right? And it was that comparative mentality, you know, and that I would come home I let this person listen to a whole bunch of my music. I got laughed at by this person. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a whole
Yeah.
thing. You know, but that comparative mentality set in to go, dang, well, maybe I'm not that good. Maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should go do something else.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a cancer.
I have a select few, a few people that I actually let listen to stuff. You know what I mean? Like I got the syndicate group, obviously. I was saying, hey, what y'all think about this? Or blah, blah, whatever. But I don't really do that to everybody, or like to a lot of people. Or just people I kind of trust with it. And then at the end, I still go off of what is God telling me about this song? Should I really still go put this out or whatnot? Or what do I feel like? Because some people, you know, just like put out a song and they be like, hey, man, I put this out and I was told not to put it out and look what it did. It's just blue. You just never know sometimes.
You never know.
But yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, man.
So man, so let's talk about 19. So I would say where did the idea of 19 come from? But you can explain more about the project that you recently released and what it really means.
Right. So 19, I just noticed that everybody was putting out stuff about COVID and the quarantine and everything like that. And I was like, yo, this is what we're in right now. This is what the world is facing. And even the Black Lives Matter. And I was like, I'm an artist. Do something. Put a project together and put it out. Because actually I was working on 7. So I stopped working on 7 just to put this out with 19. And it was COVID-19, so I just named it 19. And my cousin, she was like, we were over there at my sister's house, and we were just playing around. She was like, "Ooh, that 19 ain't playing," and stuff like that. And I was like, "That 19." So I went home and I was like, "Huh." So I listened to this beat, and I was saying, "Oh, that 19." And then after that, just sat down and was like, what else what are the other issues that people are talking about here? They're talking about 19, the COVID, obviously. They're talking about social distancing, 6 feet apart, and things like that. So that was a song, 6 feet. Then they're talking about wearing the mask. So I'm like, I gotta have a song about masks. So I did that. And then Vibe was the first one I actually brought out, because that dealt with the Black Lives Matter and then just talking about just the racial conflicts that we were having right now in the country. So I wanted to do something to talk about that more, like bringing people together. Like why did it have to be COVID to bring everybody together as one? You know what I mean? Or why did this person have to die to bring everybody together? You know what I mean? So just all of those aspects. And then the Alive song, just saying about, man, I'm alive, and like survivors from COVID, like you're still alive, you have something to be thankful for. So I used that song, and my whole run-in and with being shot at, you know, I had to use that, and I'm still alive. Like those bullets could have hit me.
Bro, that was so crazy.
I could be gone right now, man. So it's like I want to do something to say about this and talk about this and have everything as a whole. So that's where the whole project of 19 came together. In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
So now it's back to 7.
Yeah, and can't wait for 7 to be released. But I mean, for those of you who are tuning in, make sure you go to the website. I posted it. Make sure you go to his social media, and you can see more about. I'm still waiting for the mask video to drop. I want to see that. Where your mask?
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, I want to see that. But
yeah, Nap should have that pretty soon.
Now I need to hurry up. No, I'm joking.
He doing though. He's like, it's time.
Oh yeah, of course. You know, so I mean, so what made you go with the color schemes for 19?
The red and the black and the white?
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, I had all kinds of stuff, man. Different. I was talking with V, and we was just I was using this little phone app called Fonto, and it was just all kinds of colors and everything. I mean, like it wasn't all black, red, and white. That's just the one that just looked the best. It really didn't have any significance, like meaning this or red because of blood or something like that. Like nothing like that, but it just looked the best. And I sent a couple of pictures to people and say, hey, which one did y'all, which one of these think y'all think I should go with? And that was kind of one of the ones that was like the most picked.
Okay.
So I just went with it. No, not really any big significance to that though.
Okay.
Or, behind it.
Okay.
Yep, with the 19.
Yeah, I didn't know if the colors stood for something or if it was just on a whim, right? Like I'm gonna just use these colors. But like I said,
Man,
if
I
you
had
had,
bright yellows and oranges and everything.
I know. Like if you haven't had a chance to check out 19, make sure you do. 19 is a great project by Jynisys, aka Fitz, and you know, I know you said 7 is
Yeah.
going to be coming out, so that's going to be dope too.
Yes. Working on 7 right now. So, like, well, was already working on. I've been working on 7 for years, actually. The first idea of 7 came when I was at EI. Me and Shane. Shane plays a lot of the guitar.
Mhm.
Shane is really dope. But we talked about 7 way back then, man. And I just kept putting it off and putting it off. I'm like, no, I'm gonna work on this, like, and then putting it off and putting it back. And finally, you know, I would do portions of a song and it'll just sit there and it'll be like a year done passed and it's still sitting there. And then I go back to it and I'm going to something else. So finally, it's here. I'm just in the mastering stage at this point right now. Done with the mixing and all of that. So, but 7 is just about the whole project. It's 7 songs, and they're all talking about the forgiveness. Like, I'm forgiven. It's basically at the bottom line. Each song deals with certain aspects or different aspects, but it's just talking about like just my sins are forgiven. And
Okay.
if you hear it and they hear it,
Okay. Wait a minute.
basically what it's about.
Wait a minute. This is what you was asking me for a song for, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I bet.
No.
Bet.
No.
Oh yeah. I remember what that. I remember what that was for. Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah, 7 is basically that's what that is, and how God says He forgives us 7 times 70. And it's like so many
Yep.
people, even if you aren't saved and you don't know God at all, most people know sin or they heard of sin before, even things like that. Or most people pray to God or ask to be forgiven of something. So it's like a struggle in life is what that is. It's what this album is all about. Just bringing hope to your struggles in life of knowing that I'm a forgiven person for whatever it is. So
Right.
that's what 7 is basically about. But no, the project I was telling you about.
Oh, the Son of God one. Yeah, the Son of God one. All right, I'll make sure I get on
That's
my.
what
I gotta
I'm
see
working
some
on that
stuff.
right now. That's what I'm working on right now. That's just centered around just Jesus, period.
Okay.
That's it. Just Jesus.
All right. I'm gonna have
Son
some
of
like
God.
I'm gonna have like some ethereal choir type, you know,
Hey.
down south gospel, you know, cinematic.
Honestly, honestly, with this one, with the Son of God one, I've literally came in here. This is my Studio 78, y'all. I came in here and I've sat and I said, Lord, this is about you. Because I've done all other projects and stuff, and you know what I'm saying? And a couple of them didn't give God no glory at all. Like, it wasn't nothing like that at all. But this one.
Oh,
like,
I know
it
a couple
is.
of them.
Like, it is.
I know. Look, I know a couple of them.
My milk chocolates and stuff and all that, but.
Oh, wait. See, we didn't even
this
talk
one-
about milk chocolate, but we'll come back to that later. But go ahead.
But this one right here, I've literally came in here and I sat down and said, you literally direct this album right here. You direct it. What do you want me to talk about? I've got these songs right here. What can I put with this song that you want to talk about? I'll open up the Bible and say, what stories about Jesus should I bring out in this whole album? Just to bring and let people know about just Jesus. If you hadn't heard anything about Jesus or anything like that, like that's what this whole Son of God is going to be about. So I've literally came here and prayed, and before each song is like, what do you want to say through this or on this song? And that's literally how I've been taking each song. No matter what the music has been like I text y'all and said, I need the music to be crazy. Because I've never really, collaborated with other
Yes, you did.
on a full project. I've always done my own producing and everything. So on this one, I said, I'm stepping out the box. I'm going to use other producers. That's why I said, if you I know you, make a beat, yo, send me a beat, bro. Or send me something to check out. I've gone and done that. So I'm taking different stuff because I want this to be a big collaborative thing, but still talking about the one main focus.
Right.
So that's why I think this is just completely different from anything that I've ever done right now. So.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to hear the whole project. See how that turns out. Or at least, first I gotta hear 7. Well, first, even before that, I gotta see the mass video. I want to see the mass video.
It's so much coming.
And so
it's so much I'm doing.
I know.
I'm staying busy, bro.
I know. Okay,
Like, so much.
So in the same realm of you staying busy, you are working. You did some stuff with Due Season, right? You recently released something with Due Season. He did it. Now you're working on 7. You'll be working on the Son of God. You recent release 19, which is the COVID-19 project, and you have organization, not organization, but a company called Pitch Perspective.
Yes.
So, I mean, so where did that idea come from? What is it?
That's me and my wife. So Veta Sky, y'all get ready to look out for her. Veta Sky, because working on her EP as well. I'm a busy man. That's all I can say. So Pitch Perspective is my wife and I. So that's us together. So whenever we do anything together, we always put it under Pitch Perspective. We started out doing these bench talks where we would go and we would sit down and we would just talk about anything and just put it up there on YouTube. And then she wants to get off. She does art, so she paints and everything like that. So that's all under the website with Pitch Perspective, her art. So it's just one lab of everything artistic, like if you want to say, but still music based. We have an album coming out together. We're putting out an EP. It's Pitch Perspective. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
So it's still like Jynisys. I'm still myself when I do my own stuff. It's Jynisys. When she does her own stuff, it's still Veta Sky. But together, when we collab like we did, I forgot the name of our song already. See how blank my mind went? What's the name of our song we just put out?
Is that the one for the wedding? Yeah, that's right.
How did I forget that? You sang it at the wedding, Devon. But anyway, yeah. So how that's under Pitch Perspective, because it's the both of us. So that's how we're doing it. So that's what Pitch Perspective is, and all of our film work. So I've done videos because I've just gotten off into doing videos, and just come out with a mini short like the 3 a.m. That's a mini short. I shot her in that. So that's 3 a.m. It's up there on YouTube too.
Nah, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You scared her. You scared her in that video.
And it's like a mini short. It's like 6 minutes or 7 minutes, something like that. And that's it. I woke up like in the middle of the night.
But it was awesome.
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. I'm gonna shoot this like scary movie. I'm like, come on, let's do it. And I'm like, put this on. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, just come on. So just sitting there, I done had a director's hat on there, and I was going through just doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know nothing about this. It's just that I can tell you like this. It's so many things that I believe that I can do, even if I haven't done them. And it's so many ideas that I have up here in this brain, and it's like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I don't have to wait until, I'm not gonna wait until, oh, if I make it big here, if I do this, or if I get with this company or get with these people, blah, blah, whatever. I'm taking what I have and I'm using what I have and I'm just going to do it. And so I told her, hey, we got this camera. Let's just, we're gonna go shoot this, whatever. And that's what we did. And like, I've always had in my mind, I want to do like a Christian film, but not like any of the other ones that are out. Just a whole totally different perspective, but I don't want to give it away, but so it's like, I haven't done it, but that's coming. That's what I'm focusing on. I mean, a full length, even if it's like an hour long. You know what I'm saying? I really want to do a full length. So everything is in the works, man. So that's a nugget that we can give to different artists and producers or whoever your artist coming up. Like, don't wait. Don't feel like you got to wait until or try to get like the best stuff or the best this. Like, use what you got. You know what I mean? And go forth with it and do it. Like Nike say, do it. Just do it. Don't wait. Just do it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest piece of advice is do it. I mean, you find a lot of people, you know, at our church here, you know, they always use the same saying, everybody, false evidence appearing real. I mean, I don't know who made that up, but, you know, some genius somewhere made up false evidence appearing real and made it the FEAR acronym. But at our church, our pastor talks about do it afraid. If you're scared, still do it, but do it afraid. At least you're out there doing what you need to do, and the comfortability with it or the ease will set in. But in the very beginning, do it afraid. You know, like I didn't know anything about.
Don't be afraid to mess up.
Right, like I didn't know anything about none of this. But guess what? I did it.
Bro,
like if you.
I've never been taught how to do music or how to make music. I have it up here in my head. The only thing I mean, of course I had to ask a question at the first beginning. How do you record this right here? Or something. But I mean, everything else is like just sitting here. I try stuff and I learn that way. If I do it and it fails, it don't work, then I know for the next time, don't do that way, go this way or whatever the case may be. But it's like, you try it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, don't be afraid to fall, or blah blah whatever. But nobody taught me how to make a beat or whatever, or how to write a song or something like that. Like I got music in my head, and it's like I can hear these sounds. I find what's in my head, and then I make it. And sometimes I'm going off the fly. I can hear this beat, boom, boom. Oh, I like that sound or whatever. I'm going here, or I'll hear these chords, and I just automatically think something. I try to record it real quick. I can record myself so I don't forget it. And then later on, I'll get words or something. Unless something comes, the feel of it. I just get the feel of it. But nobody taught me how to do that. Like, you just do it. If you mess up, if I mess up, then I go and I start again. So, hey, don't be afraid to mess up. Like, it's good to mess up too. Because then you learn. You know what I mean? You learn. So.
Yeah, and that's the biggest that you learn from.
Else.
You learn from those mistakes, and those mistakes that you learn from helps make you better. You know, you're already answering all the questions, the other questions I was going to ask you anyway. But thanks, Fitz.
Oh.
But I mean, but yeah, I mean that's the thing, brother. Is just, you know, if you have a mindset to do something, and you have a plan to do it, just do it. Even if you have to do it afraid, just do it. When I wanted to do We Create Music TV, and I was going to invite people into my home to do interviews, I didn't know how to interview anybody. I probably still don't know how to interview anybody. Right. Like this.
Nah, you straight, man.
Like, I just like talking to people and finding out people, and I guess that comes, you know, from my background of, you know, being in corporate America, just being very inquisitive and asking a lot of questions. But I think that, you know, I almost lost my whole train of thought with that whole thing. But do whatever you're going to do. Just get out there and do it. Regardless if you're scared, if you're afraid, do it. Grab it by the horns and just go for what you know. But man, I was about to say it again. Fitz, you know, man, we've been talking over an hour. I gotta remember that we're actually in an interview, because we'll just sit here and talk. You and I would just sit here and talk as like friends. You know, and everybody was just like tuning in, and I'll forget that I forget we're doing this interview. But like I said, you already answered, you know, most of the questions that I was going to ask you, and I can't ask you what's next because you already gave us all the stuff that's what's next for you. You know, but
so.
No, go ahead.
Actually, you got the mask video is coming next. Okay?
Yes, I want to see it.
And then, the mask video. My wife, Veta Sky, her EP is coming. She's going to come out with her first video will be Brighter Days. That'll come. Then 7 will drop. And then after that, The Son of God.
Okay. Is this like you got it like the Marvel cinematic release? Is that how you're doing it? You got it all planned out like how Marvel?
Son of God?
You know how like Marvel?
Son of God?
No. You know how like Marvel already has all their movies planned out, and they do like a big thing. This one's first, and then this one, and then followed by this is yeah. You already got it ready. Yeah.
You gotta have an order. I have an order. Look. I got a whiteboard, right? So it was NAB out there years ago, but I got it. All this stuff is listed down. Now it may not go in the same order as what I had written at first, or whatnot, but this is the plan. You know, unless something changes, that's the plan.
Okay.
I say that.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see the mask video.
I know we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. Go ahead, of course.
At Jynisys on all your social media. It's Jynisys. He got it right down here. You know, if you can see it down there. So at Jynisys on all the social media, SoundCloud, things like that. Jynisys.com. You got pitchperspective.com. Or at Pitch Perspective too on YouTube or Instagram. And then you got my wife, which is Veta Sky. It's VetaSky. So you can do vetasky.com and check her stuff out too as well. So all of that, you can find us, and we ready. And my wife is beautiful.
They ready.
She was like a supermodel at first. I thought she was a supermodel.
Wait.
I asked her beforehand.
You say you thought she was a supermodel at first, right?
No, I mean like
fix that.
I'm saying when she wasn't my wife, because I used to always ask her, I would see her photos and stuff. I'd be like, you don't model? Like, why you don't model? I'm like, you should model. I used to tell her all the time, you should model. So that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't went nowhere. She still looks like.
You were like, hey girl, I see you over there. Shoot, I remember before y'all got
sometimes
married.
it's still striking, like
Yeah.
it's still striking, like still breathtaking. Sometimes you can see her, even if her blonde and pro, and you'd be like, dang, like for a quick second, you'd be like she would be like a straight up Angela Bassett. Like if she was famous, like you would think like she was Angela Bassett or something. It'd be like, they'd be like, what?
You'd be like, who is
Like,
this?
you're like, what?
Look, I know how it is being a married guy. I know how it is. Your wife comes in and you're just
You're
like,
so silly.
I was like that today. Matter of fact, yo, I was like that earlier today.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just being real. I ain't like it all the time. But there are those moments you be like, dang, like,
Oh, hey,
okay.
it's a lot of moments. You be like, oh, all right, I see you over there. Okay. And we've been married for 20 years, and it's still today. It's still, I see. Oh, hold on. She may see this
that's so
interview.
good,
Oh,
too.
wait, my son over there, doing, producing the show.
That's too
So
good because marriages are crazy right now, man.
Ah.
Like it's an attack like on marriages right now, bro. Like
it's absolutely.
doing some stuff like that would be dope too. People
Yeah.
make some songs about that. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Instead of all these songs about bees and hoes and,
yeah.
you
You're
know,
a songwriter,
WAP and
right?
WAP
Like, I
and
don't have
WAP
to
and all
write
this other
about-
stuff. Now, I know somebody gonna see this interview.
I just go through.
Right.
I can look at other people and write about that. Like that's a part of being a songwriter.
Right.
You could bring out the emotion. Like it doesn't have to be just you. Like hey,
That's right.
write about it.
Write about it. Just do it.
That's what's up,
Just get out
man.
there and do it. Man, so any last words that you have for those who are watching and those who will watch this interview afterwards? Anything else you want to tell them?
I'm a great person. I love people. Easy to get along with. Follow me.
He's not on. This is not
Comments.
Christian mingle.
Comments. Something. But no. Seriously. I mean, like if you're in this industry and you do what we do, like we've already said before, do what you do. Be yourself. Be 100% yourself. Trust yourself and what you do and believe in yourself. And like I said, thank God, because I thank God all the time just for the ability to even comprehend all of this stuff and then be able to do it. So that's what I would say. That would be my thing. And don't give up. Just keep going.
Yeah, don't give up. Too many people give up and they never, they go for the diamond and they're almost there. Right before they get the diamond, they give up. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
yeah, don't give up. Well, Fitz,
Yep.
man, Jynisys, I can't help it. Man, it's been a pleasure, brother.
You're good.
You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't seen you in like a while though. So it's good to, besides the other
Yeah, it's
videos
been
and
hella
stuff
long.
you post up, but
It's COVID.
yeah. Oh yeah. So when the
COVID
whole
is
thing
crazy.
over, we coming back up to St. Louis for a little visit. But or you come down to Atlanta, either way.
I got to come down. Yeah, I got to come down there. I ain't been down there.
Yeah, so you and
Years.
Nap come. Rick, you drive from Nashville, and Kev is already here. So
Kev already there. Oh,
Kev
yeah.
already there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we can do some stuff and introduce you to some people down here, and it is what it is. But
Yeah.
but man, I appreciate you, brother.
You
All
too,
right,
man.
Yeah, we're gonna close it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for just being here, getting the chance to know Jynisys and what Jynisys is all about from a artist perspective, a songwriter, a singer, and even an entrepreneur as far as working with pitch perspective and doing those amazing things. So keep it locked and watch out for my man Jynisys. But I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in once again to another episode of We Create Music TV. It is always a pleasure to be of service to you and to provide a platform that continues to educate, empower, and inform you of just amazing music things that can help grow your career and take it to the next level. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. And you can always catch us every Monday and Wednesday, not Wednesday, why did I even say Wednesday? But Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. on WeCreateMusic.tv and on our YouTube channel. We got a ton of stuff coming for you as well. So once again, thanks for tuning in. We are out, ladies and gentlemen.